As we continue our investigation about classes and enhancement in classes, a big topic is errors and exceptions. An exception is going to be an error condition that occurs during the execution of a Java program. For example, let's try. I have a program here I've cleverly called divide by zero. Let's see what this thing does. A is 5 and B is 0 and C is A divided by B. So I'm going to compile that. No problems. I'm going to run that now. And it pops. Let's see why. Java language arithmetic exception division by 0. Close this. My output, my terminal window, same thing, division by 0, division by 0. I guess they mean it here. So an exception is going to be an error condition that occurs during the execution of a Java program. An unchecked exemption is going to be one where you didn't provide code to deal with the error. Exemptions like that are automatically handled. You just saw by Java's standard exception handling methods. They terminate the execution, which means you really got to fix your code. A checked exemption is one where you provide code to handle the exception, either a try, catch, finally statement, or an explicit throw new exception clause. These exceptions are not necessarily caused by error in the code either, by the way. You could, for example, have an unexpected end of file because the network connection got broken. Something could have happened that you didn't plan for. You hoped it wouldn't happen, but it did. So let's see if I can fix my program here. What if I add a couple of lines to this? Let's see. How about try? I'd like you to try this. But if it doesn't work and you have an arithmetic exception error, I'd like you to catch it. I don't want the program to terminate. There might be more code after this. I would like you to keep going. Let me compile this. Let me make sure everything's okay. Let me run my program here. No errors, no crashes. Program could have went on very nicely without me, but oops, can't divide by 0. Couldn't get a friendlier error message than that. So another example where Java allows you to write code to throw a standard unchecked exemption. Say I had a variable that number of scores was 0. Well, you know, in order to take an average, you need a number to divide into your grand total. Well, suppose for some reason that number was 0. How about if I throw a new, I'm going to create this now, instantiate an arithmetic exemption, cannot divide by 0. Of course, if that isn't true, then just find the average. So this will catch it'll go on fine unless there's an error, and then it'll catch it. Second example. I have a method called setRadius, and as you know, a radius would have to be greater than 0. If the new radius, though, that someone sends me is less than 0, don't stop the program, don't crash, don't give us bad output. How about just throw a new exception, an illegal argument exception, a little error message, radius cannot be negative. Unless it's okay, and then make the new radius equal to the radius. These are examples of errors and exceptions. Fortunately for you, these are not part of the AP Java subset, but I think is an important part of Java that you can have errors that you plan for. You can write code in case an error comes up so you don't have crashes and you don't have mistakes. Here endeth the lesson.